Hello everyone on Patreon. I thought I'd give you a real quick video of what's going on this weekend. This is the weekend after July 4th, and I'm here in Limestone, Tennessee, and we're working on the barn here, and they're doing the roofing. And this is after hours here. They've gotten about half the roof done on both sides. They got a lot of work done here on Friday. Everyone's kind of excited about how much work they were able to get done. I'm going to run you in here real quick. So this is behind the scenes tour. I'm hopefully going to have a video of all this barn work coming up. It might be a month, it might be, who knows, but you get the kind of heads up about what's going on because you're here on Patreon. So let's go take a look at what's going on. We'll get up close. So one of the cool things about the roof here is that it's all made of the bark that came off of the logs that the barn is made out of. And one of the projects that we're working on for the home channel back at my house is some log structures, and we're doing the same thing. Basically, it's like taking what I've learned here on this project and applying it to some projects that we're working on at home. And you can see this bark, it was Memorial Day weekend, so what, 6 weeks ago or something like that. They skinned this bark off the logs that they had pre-cut, and they kind of stretched them out, flattened them out as best they could. And now they're laying them up here. Now they've had to cheat because, you know, they don't have the same kind of maintenance that a person here on site would always have. So underneath they've got slab cut here. I could kind of tilt you up here. Slab cut wood, still got the bark on it. And then on top of that, between the gaps, they're putting the bark. Now in the time period, they probably would have just had the bark. They wouldn't have had these slabs. So the bark things that we're working on will just have the bark, not have this excess slab work. But they've got to have these slabs, or else this would be just very, very difficult to maintain in this kind of situation. And because they're putting it up, and because of the maintenance, they're nailing them down instead of doing just with the weight logs. So in the time period, the bark would have just been laid up here, and then all these weight logs would hold it down. And you can imagine, you know, a big windy storm come along and probably blow all your roof off. You'd have to come and fix it. But let's take a quick look here. You can see we've got, this is a 2-pen barn. Let me run around here to the side. Through this is the dog trot section of the barn, the open section where you bring all the animals into the middle here. And they've gotten this side, the doorway is cut. They're going to be working on a door. I don't think they have the door ready for this weekend. But the door will go in through this, into this pen. It is a little short for horses or whatever. I'm not sure which animals. They do have some like ponies and horses that may end up in here. Here you can kind of see the roof from the inside. It's kind of open at the ridge. Doesn't have a classic closed ridge like we think of on buildings. Apparently in the time period, they almost always had this sort of, the boards on the weather side were always just longer, a turkey wing kind of thing going on, and then shorter boards kind of come up against them. So you always had that open section on the ridge. You can imagine if the weather was coming in on the wrong side, you had a storm blowing in on the wrong side, you'd have a whole bunch of water coming in through the ridge. And bark roofs like this, they were known for being not very weather tight. So families would quite often not live in a bark covered cabin for very long. And if you read Nolan's journal about the bark covered house, he talks about that very thing, that his mother was very excited about the time when they were able to move out of the cabin that had the bark roof, because it leaked all the time, and into a real building with a better roof, probably a shake roof or whatever. So, but let me run around this guy. You can see this side has the weight log on it to help hold that down, and these will continue to get pegs higher up and more weight logs to hold down the middle and hold down the top. And they'll probably even put in some more bark up underneath this bark to help shed the water. Although it was raining here earlier, and the roof was actually doing a really good job of turning the rain even as it is, and you know that it's only going to hopefully get better. Depends on how this dries out. As it dries out, it'll shrink and it'll, you know, leak more, and then it'll get wet and stretch out. So, well, I hope you enjoyed this little quick tour of what's going on here. We're going to go around the other side here real quick. You can kind of see how the rafters and the purlins on this side. But hopefully I'll be able to give you another glimpse here toward the end of the weekend, so we can see how it finishes out. So, well, I want to thank everyone out there on Patreon for the kind of support you give us, a very special kind of support that helps us do projects just exactly like this, and also all the great folks working on this. I've learned so much from these people. They're so hospitable. It's so much fun working with them. So I want to thank everyone out there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.